Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For this selection, or this time around, I'm going to use the Thelema Tarot for the tarot part. There was more information. At the bottom here is there's a website. So I think it's Los Garibo. I'm not good with pronouncing things. I feel like it's quite obvious to people who watch a lot. But there's the spelling, because if you want to find it or get more information, go ahead, go on there and check out whatever you want to check out. I don't recall last time I was on that site, so it could be some cool stuff. Supportive Oracle Cards, Spellcasting Oracle Cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lisbeth. There are their full names if you want to check them out individually. There are some websites on the back here. She Who Is Art is what stops or jumps out to me. And the dice are the same dice. They're metal dice. They're from Amazon. So if there's anything on that, they're from Amazon. I don't think there's a specific website on there, is there? Just Amazon, D&D. So if you want to find metal dice, I use the 20, the 4, and the 12. The 20 is for the major arcana, which obviously it's missing number 21, which would be the world, if my brain is working. And then for the minor arcana, the 12 I use from ace up to knight. So it's missing the king and queen, but still works. And the 4 I use for which element it is. And I go in the order of the zodiac. So the first, since Aries is the first, I use fire for 1, earth for 2, air for 3, and then water for 4, in case you're wondering. Okay. Thank you for checking out this part, and now on to your read. Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Leo? Happy so far. Let's see what else we got. Okay, let's see what we got here. The situation should be fairly good at the moment. Whatever it is, I feel like you just kind of fell into this, whatever it is. So if this is a work situation, it may not be the job itself you just fell into, but it may be some of the responsibilities that you ended up getting. It's almost like if you started work at a bakery and you ended up in night management of supplies. It's kind of like, well, I thought I was going to do the baking, but I'm actually doing the office management part and making sure all that works out correctly. It's not where I thought I was going to end up, but that's where I ended up. Something like that. You kind of fell into a different part or a different role, but I don't think you have any problem with that. But it's kind of like, this was not my intent when I came here, but it's fine. I don't care. You balance the situation out, and you do seem to be more left on your own to do things the way you need to do them. People seems to leave you alone for the most part. In some cases, it could be because you moved too quickly for them to figure out what you did anyway. And as long as it works out at the end of the day, they don't really care. It could be one of those things. The energy is very fast, but not speedy fast, but when this shows up on my desk, I have to know where that goes type fast. Not like I have to run from this to that, but decisions have to be oh, here it is, it has to go there. This, yeah, that goes there. I don't know how to explain that. Hopefully that makes sense. Fast decisions. It's not like I'm running all over the place. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. You do fairly well with it too, as well as expected. Certain things are just never changing. There's predictable randomness. Sure. So, for example, if you worked in a hospital, for example, you have random people coming in for this issue or that issue, but it's going to be there's going to be some type of craziness. There's certain things, it's I know it's going to be a little bit crazy. I know there's going to be problems. I know there's going to be certain things I just don't know. But I also know we have resources and we'll do the best we can. That type of randomness, predictable randomness. It'll be random, but you knew it was going to be random. That type of predictable randomness. I also feel like you're very realistic. You don't hold yourself to unrealistic expectations. There's only so much you know what to do with. You'll do the best you can with what you know, and that's how it's going to go. Um, People are relying on you. Do I want to say too much? The energy is like you're human, right? I'm assuming. um, they are. People believe in you, and I don't know. I have a weird feeling about this. I keep getting this feeling that people expect a lot from you, as if you have all the answers. You do the best with what you have. Nobody has all the answers. It's just that's completely unrealistic. You make good decisions. You make, the best decisions you can. You make good ones. Like that makes sense. We're do that. Like you do what you have to do in the moment. I just feel like somebody's gonna hold you to a standard that's unrealistic for anybody. Like, you know what you know when you make the best decision possible. You can't make the perfect decision every time. It's literally unrealistic. But I feel like that's coming towards you because I'm getting this caring connections and people expecting you to have the answers. And you do have good answers, and you're really good at whatever you're doing. And there's a lot of success around you. I just feel like I'm getting set up. I don't like it. Not like somebody's intentionally doing that, but by people expecting that you just always know the right thing to do. You always do the best thing you can do in the moment. You do the best you can, definitely, but everybody's fallible. It's just a reality of life. Granted, things might go more often in your favor than most. You might have more success around you in making those decisions than most people. And let's remember that. Maybe like 9 times out of 10, you do make the right decision. But that one time won't. And maybe other people are like, maybe if they hit 6 or 7 times out of 10, they're doing pretty good. So yeah, your ratio is a lot higher, sure. But you're not going to be perfect. And we need to remember that. And we need to remind other people that too. You do the best you can. Nobody's infallible. It's unrealistic. Because I'm getting like people are balancing things out with you in mind as if you're always going to make the right decision. You're going to make the best decision. Sometimes the best decision is not the right decision. Best in the moment. It's the human part of this that's bothering me. Again, I keep getting like maybe more times than not you do. Maybe like this person over here, 6 or 7 times out of 10, they make the right decision. Maybe you're like 8 or 9 times out of 10 you make the right decision. But we need to have that. There's something. It's bothering me. We have to remember that. You got to remember the reality of it because somebody's going to try to get you, like you're going to make a decision. It's coming up. You got the Hierophant coming in and the Four of Cups. It's not going to be the best decision. It wasn't a bad decision, but it wasn't the best decision. So it's almost like somebody breaking their leg, showing up at the ER, and you said it the best way you can. But then you find out that they had other issues. They had complicated issues. So what they have to do is they now have to re-break the leg and reset it because you did the best way you could for the moment, but maybe something was going on and it just the way it just healed the wrong way. They had some type of issue that you didn't know about and it just caused it to just heal the wrong way. So now it has to be rebroke, reset, and redone. It's not that you made a bad decision, it's just you didn't have the information you needed, or maybe you weren't familiar with what was going on there to know that there was a different decision that should have been made. You can't have every answer. But I'm getting it's like letting go of that and heading toward, like, don't hold to your decision. Don't keep justifying your decision. That's what they're about. Don't keep justifying your decision. Because I feel like somebody's going to try to push you into a corner and kind of like you need to justify. Like it's almost like somebody's pushing you, which that's not a good idea to push a Leo. But anyway, Leo, you need to prove to these people that you made the right decision. You need to prove to them that that was the right decision in the moment. Let go of it. Let go of it. Just be the human that you are, like all of us are. Step back and go, you know what? This is what I knew in the moment. This is why I made that decision in that moment. I know differently now. If I had known that information, or if that had clicked, I'd have done something different. I'm not going to know I'm not going to have the answer every time. You may want to like point out that like 9 times out of 10, 8 to 9 times out of 10, you make the right decision. Nobody's going to be infallible. It's not realistic. Don't hold to whatever that decision is. Don't keep validating it. Do yourself a favor, let it go, and say, hey, this is just going to be one of those times where I didn't know that. Or if we're going to use the ER thing again, especially if you've been working 48 hours or more, you're not going to be at the peak part of your game. You're not going to be at the optimal moment. There's going to be these moments. You helped this person. They didn't bleed to death. They're still they're still alive to have that reset. They're still alive to have it work out the way it should. They're still alive, bottom line. I made sure they were still alive, and not for nothing. That's still a good decision. I still did well. Maybe I didn't do optimal, but you know what? I'm not going to do optimal every time. It's hard, but I'm getting like, there's this hang up here where it's kind of like you're as human as everybody else. Most of the time, yeah, probably you do make really good decisions, but he's human as everybody else. And I still think I would push that forward too, kind of like, that person over there, 6 to 7 times out of 10, they make a good decision. This one over here, 5 to 6 times. I'm 8 to 9 times. My ratio is a lot higher. Let's remember that. It was never going to be infallible. Five of Pentacles reversed, letting go, and then the Hanged Man being released. Whatever the situation is, it will drag on for a little while. It's just going to. It's going to drag on for a little while. Don't let that hold you down. You still make great decisions, whatever this is. And I don't know if I'm not saying it right or if it's just a reason I have to keep saying, like, 9 times out of 10, you probably are making the best decision. Other people don't have that high of a ratio. You're still human. Nobody's infallible. Use that to your benefit. Maybe you need to remind yourself that. Once in a while, you're going to have a blunder. It's just going to happen. The majority of the time, though, you're exactly where you should be, making a great decision. Hopefully, it's not holding you down to the point where you're like, yeah, but this one time, I just can't let it go. You were never going to be infallible. I don't know. Hopefully, I'm saying it right, because they're saying, by you letting it go, by you forgiving yourself and realizing you're human too, it starts releasing the energy here. It starts letting it move past. It's going to drag on for a while, a lot longer than it needs to anyway. I don't feel like you have any control over that. But the sooner you just forgive yourself and like you see yourself in that human light, the easier it's going to be in the long run. I feel like this is realistic. Just make sure you're realistic with yourself and remind other people to be realistic too. Anything else? All right. That's what I have. Hopefully that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.